So with that dominating performance, Carolina starts 2-0. Let's bring in basketball analyst Brett Thompson to break down what went right and wrong for the Tar Heels to start the season. Brett?
Well, thanks, Peyton. We all knew what to expect from guys like Joel Berry, Kennedy Meeks, and Isaiah Hicks. But I want to talk for a couple of seconds about a couple of guys who showed immediate signs of being big-time contributors that may have flown under the radar. Let's start with All-American freshman Tony Bradley, who I believe can be the most important Carolina freshman since Harrison Barnes. Bradley scored double digits in each of his first 2 games in a Carolina uniform, but it's everything else about his game that I'm impressed with. Bradley's 7'4" wingspan makes him an effective rim protector, and even when he's not blocking shots, he's affecting them cleanly. And with foul-prone starters, that is a huge plus. Bradley also isn't afraid to bang bodies down low and finish through contact. Front court depth was a major concern entering the season, but I think Bradley will relieve some of the uneasiness among Carolina fans. So when UNC announced that Theo Pinson would miss 8 to 12 weeks with a broken foot, questions immediately arose about who could fill the void that the high-energy hustler left behind. Step right on up there, Kenny Williams. The sophomore guard was a highly touted shooter coming into college, and as you can see there, he can still do that just fine. But what Williams brings to this team is hustle, as you can see on that putback. Williams locked down ACC Player of the Year Malcolm Brogdon in a crucial part of the ACC title game last year, and that effort has carried over into this season. Just watch this. He's fearless going after the ball. He's heady with passes like this one to Luke May, and he's quickly establishing himself as a Dean Dome favorite. Theo Pinson might be calling the police to report a stolen identity thanks to number 24. And Williams started the opener against Tulane but came off the bench against Chattanooga last night. But with a performance like last night's, he could easily find himself back in the starting 5. And while it's hard to nitpick a team that just won its first 2 games by a combined 60 points, stop me if you've heard this one before. I'm concerned about UNC's defensive rebounding. Opponents gobbled up 32 total offensive boards against Carolina in the first 2 games. And while part of this can be attributed to poor shooting percentages, the Heels are prone to falling into the trap of using athleticism to rebound instead of fundamentals. Roy? Watch this play by Tony Bradley. The Mocs miss, and that's not boxing out. That's being out of position. The Mocs corral the loose ball and have a fresh 30 seconds to work with. Mistakes like that will frustrate Coach Williams and potentially cause problems later on in the season. So Carolina will be back in action against Long Beach State tomorrow night at 8 in the Dean Dome. The game will not be televised, but you can watch it online on the ACC Network Extra, or you can tune in this Wednesday and catch the highlights on Carolina Week at 5. Peyton, back to you.
That's basketball analyst Brett Thompson. Thanks, Brett.